And we also want to thank our sponsor for this, Squarespace. If you have a... Just kidding. But if Squarespace, if you're out there...
What?
Squarespace, if you're out there, we'll do it. So you're used to it. See that confrontation and to really verify if Goliath really had a Punisher tattoo on his forearm, which I'm sure he probably did.
A Mona Lisa, you're so beautiful. So, episode 2. Dose. I really missed not being able to film last week. I know that we're all busy. I think you were out of town like the last half of the week or whatever, but it's awesome being able to finally get back with you guys and do this.
Yeah.
So
doing it again.
Yeah, doing it again. Kirk, my man.
Just a little bit of housekeeping for everybody. As Jesse said, it's our second episode. We have all of 11 subscribers right now.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What?
I know that half of it is us.
Right.
But thanks to the other half.
Well, we got the 4 here and producer Dylan. That's
Dylan,
5
yes.
right there. And hey, for Owensboro podcasts, that ain't bad.
It's not bad at all.
Especially for episode 2. So in addition to that, I know a couple of folks have reached out, and by a couple I mean like literally 2, asking when this will be on a podcast platform, and we are actively working on that. Really probably going to be more Marcus than me because I'm not that tech savvy. I just push
teamwork.
buttons on it. Yeah, I push buttons on a camera. But we do want to get that on a platform as well. I know if you're like me, mowing the lawn, driving somewhere is when you listen to a podcast. The YouTube is great, and I mean, who would not want to look at our faces, of course.
Yeah.
But
Josh,
yeah,
Kirk and
right,
Josh.
yeah. But the more ways we could get out there, and we also want to thank our sponsor for this, Squarespace. If you have a Just kidding. But if Squarespace, if you're out there,
what?
Squarespace, if you're out there, we'll do it. Like seriously,
Hey, my website's on Squarespace, by the way.
Ooh.
One of
There you
mine
go.
is on Wix, but I mean, I'll happily move over to Squarespace if they throw us a little bit of that dinero.
and we'll post those links in the comments.
Right.
There we go.
There you go.
There
All
we
right.
go.
So please like and subscribe. And
Yes,
follow.
please like and subscribe if you're watching this. That
Smash
absolutely
that
helps us, and we love that. We're just four dudes just together, just talking about photography, a little bit of videography here and there.
Eating tacos.
Yeah. How has your guys' week been, by the way?
I did 2 shoots, which is a little unusual for me. I've kind of stepped back a little bit from the professional shoots or the paid shoots, and it was funny. I pulled up to the local convention center here in town. It's one of my favorite places to shoot city-wise, and I get there and I see this gentleman with perfect hair just sitting around waiting for a client, and it's Jesse just sitting on the steps, looking cool like he's one of the sharks, and and he just says hi to me.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I
don't know about all that.
Yeah, we're
We're like one of the goldfish.
Yeah, okay.
I'm one of the goldfish.
He's a shark or a jet, one of the two. Somebody's gonna get that reference. But anyway, and then like 2 or 3 days later, I go out there to shoot prom, and there the man is again at the exact. So we shot at the exact same spots, but
That's cool.
but the funny part about that is we looked at those shots afterwards, and just depending on how we edited them, like my shots, as a matter of fact, were within 10 feet of each other, and they all 3 looked completely different. So that's the fun of editing for those out there who.
Oh, I thought you were going to say mine looked better.
No.
I'm just joking.
Even the ones he took of me shooting my client looked better than mine than of me and my.
No. He's not giving himself enough credit.
Those look good.
He did some amazing photos. Hopefully, I'm pretty sure the client was super happy about it. But yeah, I know that you got some really, really good photos. Man.
Yeah, I did. I actually, one of them was
Excellent
for
editing.
my stepdaughter, which was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah.
And just
Yeah,
to
that's
see
cool.
the client's face, especially when it's somebody that you really care about, that just reminds you why we love doing what we do when it comes to shooting folks.
Yeah. Gosh, and there was like so many people down there. Like you mentioned, it was prom. I think they're going to be doing it again tomorrow because I think it's Davis County High School prom, and I'm not sure if there's another school that's going to be sharing, space down there. But yeah, I know there's going to be a ton of people. Regardless, all the photographers, they're coming out.
Everybody is taking pictures.
Everybody and their mother.
And their moms. But they do feel like models too. That's kind of fun, just to give them that fun little couple minutes of fame.
Oh
That's
goodness,
awesome.
yeah.
That's
We're
a
all
blast.
decked out.
There was an interesting pair of people that we saw the second time that we were down there. Prom. Who was it? Was it like Breckenridge County or something?
Muhlenberg, I think.
Muhlenberg,
Or, yeah.
and then Apollo or something
Apollo
like
was
that?
there, yeah.
and we saw clones of Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber in the blue and orange tuxedos.
Who posted that? Which one of you posted something about that?
I think I did.
Okay, I saw that. That's what that was.
Yeah,
That was
I saw
pretty cool.
them, and I was like, I got to.
They absolutely won it, but honestly, the kids that were there are of an age where some of them were like, "What are they doing?" They had no
Oh,
reference.
that's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
Come
But
on.
Goodness.
hopefully, this will educate them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
that
exactly.
movie.
Yeah, we carbon date these kids, and they're too young.
It's a classic.
Kirk, I think last time that we were here chatting near the very end of the podcast, or I don't even remember when it was, but you mentioned something. You mentioned a topic that I thought was really, really cool and interesting. And that question was if there was any moment in history, any point in time in all of history since the beginning of time that you could photograph, what would that be? Any point in history. Wow. Any point.
Have you not thought about this yet?
Oh, I did.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Marcus was just like,
Marcus do your homework?
I
I was just kind of building.
We looked
the
over
suspense,
there.
You know,
What
like,
kind of student is Marcus?
I'm going to answer this question like right now. I didn't think about it, you know, but I did think about it, and I did look it up, and I know what I'm going to talk about.
Perfect.
you know
Well,
what?
then go ahead.
Go first. Do it.
Well, we
Let's
done
go.
dropped the bomb there, didn't we? Okay. Well, being that my heart is in landscape photography, I thought about, and it honestly didn't take that long. It was Mount St. Helens. Now, I don't remember the year.
1980.
In particular.
That was
Thank
2
you,
years
Jesse.
before I was born.
Thank you.
1980.
And I think that is a very, very significant event, a natural occurrence, if you will, took place here in the United States. I can't really remember a time from that point forward outside of earthquakes, if you will. I don't know. I look back on some of the videos sometimes and I see that, and I was like, man, how amazing would it have been to have a high quality camera, you know, running on a tripod or something, or just knowing that it was about to happen and to set up and watch like that whole entire like backside of the mountain just completely slide out. You know, it's just, it's one of the most, if not the most powerful things that you could experience in nature, a volcano.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, molten rock, like, I don't know, the whole aspect of it. I still have a dream of wanting to fly a drone like over a volcano just to kind of like
Yes.
see the lava and everything down inside. So I don't know, man, just to be able to capture something like that and it just, that being a historical event just
Yeah, that would've been
makes
amazing.
me giddy,
Yeah.
if you will, you know.
That went through my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I was just trying to figure out which one.
It's
I
just
would
like,
That's cool.
you know, and there's an opportunity that something like that could happen again with what Yellowstone being the huge super volcano that's, you know, always in talks or pops up in conversations here and there amongst geologists and others that are interested in that kind of stuff. So I don't know, those types of things fascinate me, and I think to be able to capture something like that happening would have just been huge and amazing.
Yeah. You can throw your new drone up and
Dude,
take it for a
3
ride.
different cameras at 3
Yeah.
different angles.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
What's crazy is like, okay, so like I remember that you were there with us in Portland.
Yes.
I think it was, I don't think it was necessarily clear sunny when we were in downtown Portland, but I remember before I moved here back in 2010, but the year before I moved here, I remember driving over the river in downtown Portland, and you can see, on a clear day, you can see Mount St. Helens.
Wow. Just get chills.
And I remember it was pluming.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
So thinking back to 1980, everybody in Portland saw that thing go off. And that is about, if I'm correct, the Portland people are going to kill me, or the Pacific Northwest people are going to kill me. I believe the drive to Mount St. Helens is about 4 hours away.
Dang.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
deep.
Yep. Yeah, 4 hours away. Yeah, so imagine if you were like, you know, much closer. It's like getting that shot.
It's the other thing too is when we were down there, not to kind of, you know, go on a rabbit trail, but just that whole area, the geographic, I guess, landscape, if you will, is just all volcanic from even before that. The Mackenzie River down in Saheeli Falls, and what's the other waterfall? I'm drawing a blank. It's Saheeli and somebody's probably like, you don't know?
Gosh, yeah, we saw like quite a few waterfalls.
But it's the Mackenzie River, and that is the most clear, crystal blue water I've ever seen in my entire life. But that whole area, if you look at the waterfall, that is all lava flow that had built up and was runoff from, hundreds of years ago.
Was that the river that you stuck your head in?
Yeah, actually, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
that was
Dude, man,
very
wait till we go
refreshing.
back and we go see Crater Lake. You want to talk about blue water?
Dude,
Yeah.
sign me up.
Yeah, Crater Lake.
Right
I'm
now.
going to take you guys to Crater Lake. That's
You
gonna be
heard it
sick.
here first, folks.
You heard it here first. I'm taking them
Right
to Crater
here.
Lake. Dylan's coming.
That's right.
Dylan's
That's
coming.
right, baby.
Dylan's coming. Okay, all right. So 1980, Mount St. Helens eruption. All right.
I'll go.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
Come on,
We'll
Kirk.
go out of
Hit it,
order.
baby.
So my original thought, but it was just too long of an event. I thought maybe I could do a bunch of like stills and a time lapse or whatever, but it's a several 100-year project. I was thinking of the building of the pyramids.
Ooh,
that
that's a
ran through-
good one, Kirk.
Holy
That ran
cow.
through my
You
mind.
are going to solve the mystery of did aliens build it or did humans build
Hey,
it?
time lapse of that.
A
Yeah.
time lapse.
But that's a
sick.
really long.
But now you're
time
getting
lapse.
into video, bro.
Yeah,
So I'm like, well, now I'm
so
like,
gonna
what do I want to
recant that.
film?
I'm going to recant that and not go with that answer. So
No, I mean,
you
that's
guys
a good
can
one.
steal that.
No,
Well,
no.
So what? But
That's a good
the one I wound up landing on was to photograph Da Vinci as he was painting the Mona Lisa. And while I'm there, have a little conversation about the importance of light. Because if there's one guy that can teach us about proper lighting and exposure,
Yeah.
even though he doesn't know what exposure is, but
Right,
I'm
right.
sure it's that cat, right?
Was Da
So-
Vinci Italian? Is that,
Yes.
was he Italian?
Yes, he was
I
Italian,
can just
yes.
imagine. A Mona Lisa, you're so beautiful. Molta bella.
But if he was eating pizza,
Tutti frutti.
he probably had to have some pizza next to him, but it took a
Oh,
while.
that'd be sick.
You know?
Pizza and espresso while painting the Mona Lisa? Man, that'd be wild.
Oh, that's great that we dumbed it all
That'd be
down.
sick.
Yeah, that's it.
Maybe like they're like with the like with the finger, the Mona Lisa. Buongiorno.
Forget it. I'm going back to the pyramids. Anyway,
No, I dig that.
so yeah, that would be my answer, just to kind of capture that moment and a moment in history. Everyone knows that painting, right?
Yeah.
And not just that, but he's a really interesting looking guy anyway. So for portraiture, with that long old beard and all the wrinkles and everything, I'd have to go color though. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like that answer.
I'd say an 85. Yeah, 85.
85 mil, baby.
85 millimeter.
That's a good one.
Definitely.
I like that.
Good compression on that, but not too much.
Lots of compression.
Yeah.
85 mil. What would be your focal
F8,
length?
Yeah, F8. Yeah.
F8. That's right. That is his aperture of choice.
I like
Yeah,
that.
when
It's a
doing
good balance.
headshots. F8.
It's a good balance.
F8.
All right, that's me.
Yeah. Murph, what about you?
All
man?
right, so me, like, I thought about the pyramids. I thought about like all that rushed through my head. You know what I mean? But like my kind of background, just being my faith is very strong. But I love David and the story of David and Goliath. And since I'm a hybrid shooter, like, and I can see Jesse being there and be like, when he's coming down there. I don't want to tell the whole story, but like, when he's coming down there and they put all that, it's just a perfect thing to capture video and photo. So I would be turning it back and forth and she'd be like, oh, look at this dude. Go follow him. Like when we're at a wedding, Jesse's like, go do that. Get that. If I'm doing video for him.
Tomorrow, Dylan's going to be like,
How do I mix this?
Be ready, Dylan. But I would love to capture all that and then hitting the stills when he's whipping back, turning the shutter speed up, and then when he and then he goes and cuts his head off.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Video and photo and just
Yeah. Speaking of which, have y'all seen that new show? Man, I can't remember the
my
name of
dad
it.
was talking to me about that.
Something
I
about-
haven't seen it. It's about the story.
It's about
of that.
yeah. I haven't seen that exact episode when he fights Goliath. I think I watched maybe like the first 20 minutes of the first episode, but I could tell like the cinematography is going to be awesome. So I'd love
Yeah.
to see that to get a more even, hyper visual of it.
Well,
if
I
you
know
will.
that some of the lens filters that I buy, the Prism FX, like they use some of those during filming that.
Oh, cool.
They promote that in their little, their ads and stuff. So
That's
It would
cool.
it would just be neat to see that confrontation and to really verify if Goliath really had a Punisher tattoo on his forearm, which I'm sure he probably did.
Something.
a Punisher tattoo, and a beard.
Yeah.
You know, he looked like a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
Goliath was a Navy SEAL.
Yeah.
I highly recommend, though. I came across a video the other day where it was somebody using the type of whips they used back then.
I've seen
and
that.
the way they cracked that and threw the rock, I was like, oh, well, that makes sense why Goliath went down, of course.
Máquina, veremos la velocidad de esta onda muy larga.
I was shook, though, when I saw the video, for sure.
And just to capture all that. Like, I don't know. I was just like, man, that would be.
That's good. I like that one
So
a lot.
cool.
Go mic him up real quick as soon as he's getting ready.
Go mic him up. Oh my goodness!
Before you go out there, let me put this, this mic on you.
Man, you guys are talking video stuff. The video dude didn't even think video.
No,
and you,
man. I thought hybrid.
man.
Like when I'm thinking about that, because like when I'm reading the story, like I see things come to life. You know what I mean? I see.
Yeah.
I try to picture it in my own head.
Yeah.
And so like, I was like, I would have to get video and photo of that.
yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I would have to get like a low angle shot with, I would be behind David and with a really wide like 24 and like just see the whole open expanse in
heroic
front of
shot.
him and just the hero shot, but not just that, and how little
Focused
he looks
in on
close
Goliath.
to
The Christopher Nolan
that-
shot
Yes,
from behind.
Exactly.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's wicked.
What all he's going up
I'm
against.
gonna have to watch that to see how they portrayed that. now.
Yeah. I heard it was pretty awesome, but I mean, like I said, I've never seen it myself. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do that. That way when I'm watching, I could be like, yeah, Josh Murphy, get it, go Dylan. Man, like listening to y'all's answers, mine sucks compared to you guys. It's
No, no,
horrible.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Let's
Like,
figure it out.
okay, so in our
Are you changing yours?
No, in our chat thread earlier today, or first thing this morning, Kirk is all like, all right, you guys can't do the birth,
Death or
or
resurrection.
resurrection of Jesus. That's a given. So,
It's just too easy.
Yeah,
it's too
yeah.
easy.
Yeah, too easy. Granted, we all agree that'd be way too easy.
Right.
So mine is like way on the other side. It's so dumb. I didn't want to say it now. No, okay. So so growing up in high school, in my garage, I had two posters up, sports posters. One was the I think it was the 1989 slam dunk contest, the NBA dunk contest, the one that Jordan won. You know, where he's doing the iconic dunk. But my favorite photo was the one of when Muhammad Ali was fighting Sonny Liston. There were two famous photos taken in that particular fight. After Muhammad Ali knocks Sonny Liston down, there's two photos. There's a photo with his arms like this, where Muhammad Ali is like this and he's like looking down. But the photo that I had hanging up on the wall, was the one where he was like this. He was like, yeah, like that. So this one right here was the one I really, really liked. And I don't know, it's just like, at the time, I think I was, 16, 17 or whatever, just going through the stupid, teenager years. Like, you think you know everything. You've got a lot of issues, dad issues. And I don't know, it was just one of those things where, looking at that particular poster, I was like, well, if he can knock down his enemies, well, maybe, I can too.
Yeah.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Granted, I wasn't a boxer or 6 foot, whatever, 230 pounds or whatever. So, but yeah. Like if I could go back and take a photo for myself, that one would be it.
You
It's an
looked at
iconic moment.
You looked at that photo and you're like, you ran outside and you were ready for somebody to punch and go hit. You're
Come on,
finding that
baby.
next bully. You're like, I'm gonna go knock
Where's the
him out.
neighborhood bully at? Come on.
Jesse's getting all pumped looking at it.
No,
You're like,
I
"All
was
right,
the
I'm
guy.
ready."
No, I was the guy trying to go set up that scene. Hey, you two, y'all fight, go.
But you brought up a really, really good point about how that kind of impacted your look on life, and like how I can be that guy in a metaphorical sense, and that's the power of what we do when you look at some of this stuff. It's and I'm a little shocked, Jesse, actually, because I can't believe you didn't pick photographing Elvis recording Hound
I
Dog.
was gonna say that. I was gonna say there is this one iconic Elvis pose. It's like 1956, like when he just started the scene. The camera photo is him on stage, but it's behind him, and so the camera is looking basically at his back, but you could see all the crowd.
Right.
And I love those shots. I love like behind the scene crowd shots. So my favorite photos to take over at Owensboro Christian Church, the church that both Kirk and I go to, my favorite photos are the ones where like I'm behind whoever's singing or preaching, and I take the photo of them alone, but you see nothing but the crowd. So yeah, I was gonna say Elvis, but I was like, man, like that Muhammad Ali poster was there through my entire teenage years or whatever. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, but by the way, there's a weird side note to that Muhammad Ali, just because Kirk knows dumb trivia. The gentleman that took that photo, and his name escapes me. There was another photographer there that everyone idolized, and he stole the other gentleman's seat. So the guy who took the photo was not in his original seat. So he was set up on the other side, got that photo, and in that iconic photo, the guy who stole his seat, you can see him standing there just with his camera down.
Oh, whoa! I'm gonna have to go look at that. That's wild.
So
that's wild.
He's probably
little karma there, brothers. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Dang,
I mean, it is pretty cutthroat with that sports photography and like where you get to sit, and especially in a, you know what I mean? I guess it's just luck.
Yeah.
I understand it's a bit of a community as well, though. They'll all kind of stick together. A good friend of mine and one of the gentlemen that really got me into this, I'll name drop him real quick, Phil Lambert with Vital Photography out of Colorado. He's deep into that. Did a lot of UFC and bare knuckle. He's in the Hall of Fame for bare knuckle fighting as a photojournalist.
Okay.
And we can actually even at some point, guys, we're gonna have more housekeeping. We'll have some guests and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he's one that I've had in mind just to talk about that specific type
cool.
of photography. But yeah, interesting life. But yeah, that is, I think it's like any other profession.
That's true.
Yeah.
I know when me and Dylan go to basketball games, high school basketball games, there's so many photographers there, and so like just trying to not take the same picture, and you know what I mean? Like,
right.
I need to go over here, they're all over here, and that's difficult to do. Like, and that would be so crazy if you missed that shot.
Well, and conversation for another time, but we have talked about other topics we want to discuss, and Ken Griffey Jr. did a little bit of that at the Masters this year. So here's somebody who, we'll talk about famous people that are now famous photographers, but that's a good point right there. Him and even Randy Johnson as well. But yeah, he took some great shots at the Masters.
At the Masters.
And not because he's Ken Griffey Jr. If he's just Ken Griffey Jr., the photographer, those were fantastic shots.
Yeah.
They really were. Talented guy.
I don't think I necessarily saw those photos, but yeah, I'd like to go research that and see what those particular ones look like.
They're good. They're real good, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. Man, I'm still hung up on the aliens building the pyramids and you just like taking photos of it, because like I automatically think of that movie from like 1995, Stargate. You remember that?
Oh yeah,
Stargate
absolutely.
with Kurt Russell.
Heck yeah.
Man, that flat top that he had, woo, he looked smoking.
G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Man,
I'm still hung up on Da Vinci eating a pizza. That's what. Because clearly,
I was just hungry. That's why I mentioned it.
Yeah. Why not stereotype?
Invite.
We're gonna throw a curveball to everybody here because no one's had a chance to think about it.
Okay. Let's go, Kirk.
Sits up.
What
Kirk,
is
Lord of the Maroschers?
There's only like 7 Maroschers in the whole world, so
You are the Lord of them.
yeah. So
One camera to rule them all.
it's this one right here. If it's my AR4, if it is one camera to rule them all. So what is something photography or video wise, whatever? What is a talent or genre that you wish you were better at? And I'll go ahead and start to give you guys a chance to think. I never use Photoshop. I mean, I do a little bit, but not much. I'm a Lightroom guy. I'm mostly photos, and I like to get the rawness of in camera, that kind of thing. And I'll edit a bit, but I'm not necessarily going to add things to the photos. But there is a certain need for that. I don't want to be dismissive of that, or even layers and things like Marcus. When I think of your landscape photos and doing the different layers and not using HDR so much as using different shades on different layers and things. That's something I think would be a very handy tool to have. In the meantime, though, I'm still trying to master Lightroom and all of its updates once those come out. So
it's ever changing.
It's ever changing, which is great. But I'm getting there. But I have this tendency of being a jack of all trades, but a master of none. Which is we joke about me not shooting video. That's one of the reasons why. Because I want to master one thing and not go to something else. But that's just me. But
I'm with you on that.
But with with Photoshop, I think I would like to know that a little bit better, and that's an easy fix. And part of this community that we all have is reaching out to those guys. I know there's been a couple of times I've reached out to Marcus, and he's like, "Well, just do this, 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 and this." And the next thing I know, I got a great photo.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
So that's my answer. So
Awesome.
We're gonna go down the line.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I would love to do Photoshop as well. Am I here? Good. But I don't know. Like,
then he goes right back to where he was.
Yeah. Am I good? Am I good?
I want to get better at podcasting.
Do I sound delicious?
Yeah, we all want to get better at podcasting.
I think first we got to. I think first we got to do it like Joe Rogan. Like we all have to wear headphones because as soon as we step back, like we'll hear it, we'll be like, "Oh, like,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
can't hear
sound
yourself.
delicious enough. Let's go here, Mona Lisa."
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I like shooting.
How many times can I say Mona Lisa on
Not
this
enough,
podcast?
apparently.
It's a fifth time.
5. Okay.
Right, but
Are we good? We're good. Okay. I like to shoot anything. Oh my gosh.
Welcome to our heads, everybody. This
Sorry,
is how
Josh.
this works.
Sorry, Josh. Okay,
I think-
We'll fix it in
I
post.
was thinking what I was going to say now. I forgot. No, I like shooting everything. Like I don't feel. I mean, I guess senior photography, and I like shooting people. That sounds weird, but I like it all, and I like doing video as well. But I think I haven't really like Jesse. When I think about a Jesse James wedding, like how he films, it's like a movie production stuff, and it's trying to find my style. Like, he's mentored me and shown me things, but there comes a time where like you got to be original and you got to be yourself, and you can pick up those pointers and all the things that he's shown you, and then I can be me. I can be, until I find out who I am, I'm going to be Jesse. But now, as I've done this for so long, I've used everything that I've learned from everybody, and I'm putting those pieces together, and I'm just trying to be me. So learning video and how I want to shoot a wedding film or sports or whatever, I want to put my own style on it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to be just like Jesse. I love Jesse, and I love Kirk, but we're all different and unique.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it does, and like we can create some awesome stuff with all of our input. But
Absolutely.
inevitably we all got to be ourselves.
Yeah.
But I want to get better at video as well because I love it. But I'm a photography first. But if I had anything, I would probably get better at video. Just mastering that. Yep.
I'm gonna say I'm with Kirk in the aspect of just wanting to master one thing, and it was photography for the longest time. And my first official camera was the Canon T3i. It hurts to say Canon nowadays, but my first actual professional camera was the AR2. But anyways, Jesse was the one who got me, or eventually I don't know. I guess I was around him enough, and we spent a lot of time together that I eventually was like, okay, I'm going to try video. And then I was just like, holy cow, these are moving pictures. Your mess ups you can't fix as easily as you can, and with photos and everything else. So the pressure's on there quite a bit more. But I will say, I think Jesse has allowed me and given me the opportunity to be like, okay, now I can have more of an open mind as far as now I want to learn everything. And it's a lot of it has recently come down to software nowadays, because AI has become a really powerful, tool, and if you want it to be in a part of your workflow.
Scary powerful.
Yeah,
like really
very
good.
scary powerful. But
Yeah.
at the same time, you can go, there's so many different topics you can hit on with AI, with the originality and it not being original and this, that, and the other. But as far as software goes, I'm just a techie guy. There's new stuff coming out every year, every 6 months, it feels like even.
Yeah.
So it's hard to stay on top of that stuff, and I wish I had the brain capacity to be able to do so, and to know how to use DaVinci, Photoshop, Final Cut Pro, all the Adobe programs, just all the way through, in and out like that. That would be something that I wish I could definitely have.
But you do have a very good starting off point. Like for those who don't know us very well, we all have our own little things we reach out to. So when we have a tech question, 9 times out of 10, we're reaching out to Marcus.
Yeah.
When I have a posing question, I'm going to reach out to Jesse. When I have like a location or like even a business question, I'm going to reach out to Josh. For me, they reach out to me for nothing, but
This is not
just
true.
for humorous
Music.
and
Kirk
Music.
takes the most amazing black and whites, I will tell you.
Kirk, best album, 1972.
Dude, you helped me
Yeah.
set up those headshots, and that was the
Oh,
most.
yeah.
That was the most, I made a reel of Kirk, and just of my setup, and it got like almost 500 views on it. Like that was the most I had to that date, and it was Kirk like going, you know what I mean? It just the whole setup. I was like,
Weird.
man.
I haven't seen any residuals from that. I don't know.
Oh boy.
Anyway, Jesse, what do you got, brother?
I think, so mine would be a little bit more video based, obviously. If there was something that I want to get better at, it would be just expanding my creativity on just like shooting shots. Sorry, not really shots, but like video ideas. Just like the creativity, and like part of what helps me get better is obviously by watching other creators.
Yeah.
That I look up to, and like I've been watching other creators doing like video shorts or TikToks or Vine, like way back in the day. Back in the day, like Vine. Yeah, Vine was like a video app where it was like 6 seconds. You had 6 seconds to tell a story, and there were some Viners on there that were incredibly creative. 6 seconds.
That's wild.
And I'm just like, man, they're good. And I wish I had that brain. I wish I had that creativity, because if I did, I feel like I could take those ideas to like whether it's businesses or friends or just myself,
Right.
and just like implement those, and be able to just create like really entertaining, funny stuff, or educational or moving, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But you do have that creativity, and Marcus, you do have the technical knowledge, and Josh, you have the knowledge, or at least access to the knowledge of everything we want to do. And myself, I have the access to learn Photoshop, for my example. We just need the execution to do it, right? So it's all about focus. And also being part of a community like this where we can reach out to other folks. Because photographers, we get a lot of slack sometimes, but when we find our little tribe, we do help each other out. When we all started out, we all probably had like a mentor. I had like 2 or 3 of them, And then, we have that ability. It's just do it. Like this podcast, we talked about it forever. We actually did it, which shocks me because we never follow through with anything. But here we are.
We've been on a couple of trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next thing that we got to do, like collectively together, it's like we all need like another bro trip.
Yes.
We needed one of them. All of us.
Yes.
Dylan.
Producer Dylan.
Yeah. We got to go and we got to do something fun and just like create more.
Heck yeah.
Create more stuff. I'll just be the dude just like, videoing everybody. Like y'all can take
good
all the
at
cool photos.
I'll make a book out of it. It'll be
There
fun.
we go. There we go.
I want it signed at least.
Yeah.
It's going to cost you, but all right.
That's the second time he said
Once
that.
I get my residual check from Josh's reel, then
What's your
I'll
Venmo?
go ahead and
All right, so thanks again for another episode. I'm going to surprise our producer here, Dylan. I will repeat the thing. Actually, Dylan, why don't you come over here?
Yes.
I want you to tell us if there was any photo in history that you would want to capture.
Putting him on
What
the
would that
spot.
be, my man? Just go ahead. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
sit right here in front of the Sony.
Yeah. Yeah, what would that be?
That's a tough end. Mine, I actually thought about this today because I'm on the 10 o'clock at night, 75 messages.
The Camera Cartel.
Oh, gotcha.
Camera Cartel thing is,
Yeah.
so that's always fun.
Sorry
We're
about
just
that.
blowing up his phone. Dylan's like,
But
these
here's
guys,
mine.
mute.
Here's mine. There's 2, and it has to deal with surfing. And my favorite surfer of all time is Jerry Lopez. I don't know if you know who Jerry Lopez is, but he was really the first one to pioneer pipeline with the surfboards, and it revolutionized surfing when he was making his own boards. And I just want to see the first time that he drops in on pipeline,
That's cool.
not on some giant board, and just rips it down that, and just to see it, just to be able to take a picture down that line. That would be mine.
That would be sick. That'd be
One
cool.
shot. Sick.
What's the other one?
Well, it has another, was surfing in California, a little south from where I grew up is Mavericks. It's basically the big wave surfing, California
100-footers.
capital. Yeah. If you watch 100-foot wave, Nazarene, but a lot of it started in at Mavericks in California.
Okay.
And that wave, that first time somebody was brave enough.
get
It's
out
kind of
there.
like taking
You talk about
pictures,
some
the brave
kahunas.
enough to paddle out into those
That's wild.
and do that. So, yeah, that's mine.
That's
Nowadays,
cool.
people just get towed out.
Yeah.
Oh. To our 11 subscribers, thank you so much. That's Dylan Hammonds right there. Obviously, you could tell he's a former
Producer Dylan.
native Californian who now resides here in Western Kentucky with us. Also another amazing photographer and videographer. Yeah, actually, we're going to do a wedding together tomorrow for Josh.
Yes.
So
Can't wait.
yeah. All right, thanks, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
See ya.